Alright, what's up YouTube? Making a video about this topic, right? So I shot another video. I haven't uploaded it yet, but this is like, I'm going to put this one up first before I put that one up, right? Because, you know, they kind of went into a comment, right? So it kind of stems from a comment, right? Now, for example, this is why private selling is going to be way more beneficial, yeah? And this is why I tried to say anyway back a month or two ago, it's better to stray away from these websites and actually private sell. Now, if you're going to private sell, you know, use a different form of payment, yeah? Like, I don't prefer this GBP anyway. I prefer to transact in, say, Litecoin, right? Because Litecoin you can send with minimum, it's free to send it, right? It's 0 pence to send it, right? To send Litecoin, right? So I wanted to get into this video, right? So basically, James messaged me, right? And then basically it follows on from. Let me pull up my messenger. I can't remember where it is on my phone. Right, here it is. Right, so James sent me this, right, which was this article, right, which was selling this. So selling goods online, you'll be warned. Whatever it is, selling used clothes, collectibles on eBay to Airbnb, profits will be under scrutiny, right? So profits, right? So basically, right, if you are selling something and you are not making money on it, right, they can't target you for anything, right? Now, the thing is everyone has, right, this is rolling per year, right? So per year. So, you know, if you were selling for, say, 52 years, yeah, you could potentially make like £51,000, right? Because essentially what you do is you'd make £999 every single year, right? Not every single year. So you'll make your £999 for that year with your like your job and whatever, right? And then your next year you'll say, right, I've made 900. Now I'm gonna, you know, stop or slow down. And then next year rolls around, you do it again, right? That's the best option to attack it that way. So if you're selling cards that you got from a box that you've not made money on, you haven't got to pay anything, right? So I'm gonna pull up the article on my phone, right? So basically, where is it? So we'll do that later, right? So I'm gonna. It's up to you if you want to sell the old article, right? If you want to pull up the full article, right? But it says here, it says everyone has the trading allowance of each year, which means they can earn up to £1,000 without paying tax. This is involved in hobby selling. For example, they make a few sales and generally be hoping to make profit, but on a small scale may have no real issues, right? So this is on the basis that is involved will be eligible for the trading allowance, right? So basically, right, it shows you about, you know, basically the £1,000. So everyone has the free £1,000 that you can make per year, right? So for example, like I've said to you, I'm going to give you a few scenarios. If you spend £800 on, say, grading cards, right, you have to sell the original to get the 800 back before you've made any money, right? You could sell one card and you could, say, project 150 on that item, right? Now you could have been like, well, I bought this card for this, right, and I graded it for this, and this is what I sold it for, right? So let's say you're up 140 on that specific card, right? Let's say you're up 140, but the thing is, you didn't make any you couldn't sell any of the other ones, right? You can't sell any of them, right? They're basically fucking dead. You've lost money, right? That's what it is, right? So let's say you open, like, I don't know, an Arceus trainer kit box, right? And you paid 30 quid for it, right? This is why I insist, whatever you buy, print out your receipts off eBay. Go on eBay and then click, you know, like the print option, right? Print receipt, right? Print the receipt. And as you sell stuff, like make a note of, like, you know, like this, right? So for example, like you know, let's say, on this piece of paper I've got, right? So, did I write anything else down on that? Right, I don't wanna show this one because this is like, you know, something else. So I won't show this one. But basically, right, let's say for example, you'd write down like MTG bulk, right? So you'd write down here like MTG bulk pound 3, right? So what you would do is you'd make a note of where you think you are on your item, right? So what you've got to remember, right, is you could spend, let's say, a minimum, right? Because how much I spent on like kits and stuff, I spent a lot of money on kits. I probably spent like maybe 800 quid, like probably on like just like Pokemon boxes that I know I can get like 50% of my money back without actually like losing really anything, because I was gaining booster packs and then I was putting booster packs away. So I'll give you an example here. So like I put on this, right? So I was putting booster packs away, right? Like this, yeah? Putting booster packs away, right? So basically sleeving them up, right? Right, doing like this. I'm sleeving them up, yeah? And then I'm putting them away. Because the fact that Evolving Skies will probably be worth a lot later on, I will still have costs to recover from the original box that I got them out of. Do you see what I mean? Right? So basically, they become as like something you bought but you didn't get rid of. Right? So, for example, I don't make an awful lot. Right? And these Pokemon YouTubers, right, that say they make loads of money on YouTube, they make money from YouTube. They make money from YouTube, right? Like when I make videos, like I don't make any money from that, right? So if you say sold these 2 cards, right, at say £1.90, you know the fees on eBay stink, right? And basically, let me just go onto my phone, right? And then go to so I sold something earlier, right, which is pretty much, so I sold 2 energies, right, times 2 for £1.89, right? Transaction fees 54 pence, so £1.35, right? So when you go to the calculator, right, and then you go to the calculator and you go £1, right? So I'm just doing this for the sake of the video, yeah, minus 0.75. That's the cost of your stamp. And now you're not minus your letter in your sleeve, which I pay 4 pence. So you'd be like 56 pence, right? 56p. Now that 56 pence is not any money. You haven't made anything there. You haven't made anything. You've made fuck all, right? You've basically made fuck all, right? So these people that sit on YouTube going, I make this much money, like you didn't, right? Because the thing is, it's like, for example, right? So I'm going to pull up another one, right? So what I used to do is I used to make this money back per every item, right? So you'd say still at like a £10 loss. And then what I would do is I'd then buy another box, right? And then even if I'd bought 2 boxes and I'm still at a loss on both of them boxes, as long as I kept something from that box, like if it was a Charizard like card, right, which I still have some left, and say like a team up Charizard, and then say the trainers, right? So the trainers that you get from the box, you sell them, right? And then you would keep, say, the evolution booster pack, right? Or something like that, right? So for example, we sold an Eevee card, right, for £1.70, and that's 52 pieces. That's £1.18, right? So go back to calculator, right, and then £1.18, right, minus say 75, right? It would be 79 because of the 4 pence. So it'd be 39 pence. So obviously, if you bought, say, an Eevee deck or a jungle, you might have bought, I don't know, a binder of cards, right? And you might not have made any money, right? So you might have sold that and still made nothing. Do you know what I mean? So you could get 15, 20 sales in Pokemon and make fucking nothing, right? And then you've got to counter in loss, right? So then the loss, when someone individually steals an item or says that they don't get their item, like an INR, you not only lose the cost of the stamp, right? You lose the cost of the letter and the price of the item. So if you lost, say, 170, right, from that sale, yeah, you've lost that, the stamp and the stamp value, which is fucking shit. But do you know what I mean? Because that's how people are, right? Like I've explained to you, like on a PSA 9. So I sold this PSA 9, right? I sold a PSA 9 muck card, right? So a PSA 9 says 28, but I didn't sell it for 28. I sold it for 26, right? And then the fees alone on the order total was £2.26. Fees were £3.63, and then you got £22.37, right? So if they tried to say, for example, that I made money on that, I'd be like, bro, you guys are fucking idiots, yeah, right? So my grading price, right, is like £14. I'm gonna go 14.50, right? So it's like 14 quid, right? And then you go minus your shipping, yeah. So your shipping's £3.5, right? And then you've got the fucking, what's it called? Your envelopes, because I use 2, which is 25 pence, right? So £4.57. Now that card alone, right, pretty much costs a fiver. Right? It costs £5. Now I got the card out of a box, which you have to recover your money from the box as well, right? So you recover your money back from your box. Made fucking nothing. Zero. Yeah? Made zero. Right? And then people say, oh, why do you sell? Because it's a hobby, yeah? It's a hobby seller. You sell as a hobby, yeah? That's what it is. You become a hobby seller, right? Like you sell, you sell stuff, you like be a hobby in it, and then you can turn it into something, like you could turn it into a business if it was great enough. But to be fair, if you, for example, was to rely on this solely for like income, yeah, wouldn't work, bro. Wouldn't work, right? I know there's people in America that do it, and they state like TCA Gaming and all these people. But the problem is of England, yeah, is it doesn't move. The thing with England, right, is in England, you are ultimately, right, stuck in the principle of you're relying on an outside source to be able to get your cards in to sell them, right? And that's why PSA in England is shit, right? Because the reason why PSA in England is shit is because we are not local to them, right? We are not local. They're not local people, right? PSA cards would essentially be massive in the UK if it was an English company, but it's not. It's American. So you having to pay, right, fucking shipping fees that are fucking stupid, bro, right? And PSA, 100 card submission, they charge you $150 in shipping just to get your fucking item back. Like, just to send you your cards back, they charge you $150. Like, I'm not being funny, but that should be fixated in the fucking cost of the grading, right? So, when people say, oh, it's it's worth it to do this, like, it's fucking not. It's bullshit, right? It's complete bullshit. Like, these people like Pokey Chloe and that, they do it on YouTube because they make YouTube money. Because they're a girl, they get a lot of followers because most of the Pokemon guys are men, yeah? And that's why they're like, oh, yeah, simping, simping over the women, yeah? Right? And that's how they are, right? So, for example, like this Worlds card, right? This Worlds card alone was £1.25, yeah? Yeah, I sell a lot of cards, but I sell a lot of shit cards, yeah? So if you take the stamp at a 79p cost, I paid nothing for this. But you see, I got a free stamp that day, right? So I sent this with my free stamp. But how do they know what stamp you sent it with? You sent it with a stamp full price. They can't prove otherwise that you sent it with a full price stamp or you sent it with a free stamp. So you always deduct the price of your stamp and shit off there, right? So for example, yeah, like I said to you the other day, I bought these Magic the Gathering cards, right, for 30 quid back in 2018, 35 or 37. I know, I have a receipt somewhere, right? I ain't even made my money back on them. That's why I never bothered even writing down, because it's like I made fucking nothing on them, right? So I sold this at £1.79, but I make out like, obviously I say in my videos like, oh, I sold this, but you know, I'm only getting £1 back, so I'm gonna have to sell like another fucking 30, 40 cards at that same price to be able to get that money back, right? Because if some of the cards aren't worth anything, right, you know, like for example, yeah, this Splash Energy, we sold this for £1.50, £1 once. So after 79 pence, yeah, it's 22p. That's it, right? But then again, we got this from a box as well, right? Or we got this from a pack, right? So this pack, it's finger, right? It's again, yeah, right? Like even this card, right? So LDK2, right? I don't want to reveal his address. Let me wait for it to load. Right? It's trolling, right? So for example, just make sure, yeah, that you're not going over that one rack, right? And if you are, and you're not saying nothing, then just be aware that, you know, this is what they're doing, right? Because in the end of the day, like I've said multiple times, I am not making money on some of these PSA cards. Like, they're fucking dog shit, right? People don't want to pay for them, right? They don't want to pay for them. They want to pay, right, you know, a couple quid. Oh, just £5, mate. £5 off. Like, you do realise that, I don't know why this one's not loading, right? The fucking connection's gone shit, right? You know, it makes me laugh, yeah, because I'm on a fucking terabyte internet, right? And it still fucking pisses about, right? So, hold on. Let me find another one, right? Wait, that's offers. Right, good, sold. Right? And then let me find another one, right? So, let's say, for example, yeah, the one I went to, the Gravity Bind, right? The Gravity Bind. We sold this for £1.90, £1.36. I got this out of a gold box, right? 79p, right? 21 pence. That's what, 57 pence back off your box, right? Because you're not getting this stuff for free. This is what I mean. You're not getting it for free. So let them try and fucking say, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, blah, blah, blah. Like, you get fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, prove it. Like, do your research. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, say for example, yeah, this card, £1.25, cost of the stamp, cost of the fucking letter, cost of the sleeve. It's just, you're giving it away. It's free. Do you know what I mean? They're literally free. They're getting the card for free. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, my stamps, obviously, I get them a little bit cheaper, so I make like 10p on a card, right? I'll make like 10p on it. That's it. On that card, we technically made fuck all according to the statistics, but we made finger, right? And then you got a Dragon Ball Z card. Like, I sold a Dragon Ball Z card. Sold that £1.90, right? 54p. But how much did I spend on Dragon Ball Z? I bought a fucking Dawn of the Legends box for 110, right? Bought another Dawn of the Legends box for 110. I bought 3 fucking, what was it? S2 boxes? Yeah, maybe S2 boxes, I think it was, yeah? And they was what? Fucking insane. Yeah, they were like, what, 45, 50 quid a box, right? So, I sold like one Dragon Ball Z card and got like 50 pence. Like, yeah, I made loads of money on that, right? Like, no, I didn't, yeah? That's why I'm honest with my videos, right? That's why I make a video and honest with my video. Because I don't want to give the perception that my man's making it big and, you know, my man's rich, bro, from selling shit. But you're not, because it is essential, right? If you pay, let's say for this sticker, right? Let's say for this sticker. If you paid £10 for this, right? And then 2 months later, you end up selling it for £7.50. They could go, oh, you made money on that. No, I didn't. I sold it at a loss. Like, this is why it's to keep your receipt, right? Always keep your receipt. I know if you're selling like fucking 20 cards a day, it's going to be hard to fucking cope with it, because like sometimes I don't even bother writing it down, because it's like, I know I didn't make money on the card, so I don't bother, right? It's like, I just sold it for no. I just got my money back. I got the money back and my stamp. Like, me buying that stamp and me getting that money back for that stamp, as long as I get my money back for that, I'm not bothered. I really don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like say, you hobby sell and you do things for fun, yeah? right? Like, let's say for example, let's say we sold. All right, so we sold a code, right, for like $2.99, right, and then we obviously we don't ship that, right, and then on this sale, yeah, right. What was this one? Does this one go to? All right, so this one goes. This one went to Poland, right? So this one went to Poland. So they paid £3.69. eBay collected VAT from the buyer, right? Because he was buying from the UK. Where's his location? Right? So my money is located in Poland, right? Well, I revealed his address, but you know his Polish address, yeah, so it makes no fucking difference, right? So basically, I sold him a code, right? And then £2.13. So I sent it him straight away. Now, I paid £15 for that deck, right? So £2 back off the deck, right, is is not the money back, right? It's not the money back. We didn't make the full money back, yeah, because we bought the fucking box, right? And then we said we bought the box, we got the card out of it that I wanted to collect, yeah, and then we sold the fucking shit we don't want, right? And it's like, well, why wouldn't you just buy the card off eBay yourself and pay the £4 for the card? Because no, why would I do that, right? Because now I can buy the box, get a potential fresh, pristine copy of the card without no dints in it and shit, right? And then I can put that where I want to put it, keep it, yeah, and sell the rest of the cards out of the box and recover that money. So even if you recover £13 of the money, you do got that card for £2, and you enjoyed taking the process to sell them cards, right, and get your money back. Because people playing Pokemon, yeah, they're not making massive amounts of money. They really are not, yeah. It's a lot. I can remember even TCA Gaming, yeah, when he was saying, oh, we're selling a lot, right? He was selling a lot of items, right? But he wasn't actually making a lot of money, right? In the terms of the average American paid household was fucking double what he was making. Do you know what I mean? But my man makes a lot of sales. So, for example, we sold 2 magic cards, which come from a box. That was £1.18, right? And then we sold another one, right? Let me go back down through the fucking page, right? So we sold that, right? We sold that, and then we sold this one, right? So £1.18, and then this one was 63p, and this was for a magic card. This was for an Elaxian 2018 card. That's when I said I bought that. So 63 plus £1.18, right? So you go like this, go 63p plus 118, right? Minus 79, right? We made £1.02 back on the fucking magic bulk cards we bought from years ago, right? So this is what I mean, right? The principle of it, this is the video, right? It's a long vid, right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.